Anybody wants a seat? There's some seats up front here. We won't bite, or at least I won't. Yes, folks, it's that time. We're going to start our announcement. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to welcome you to today's announcement. My name is David Ferguson. I'm proud resident of the West Prince region. And I'm also the owner of the Ferguson Funeral Home in O'Larry. Today I'm going to act as your MC and on this important and exciting announcement that we're going to have today. Before we get underway, I'll take a moment to introduce our official party. We have the Honourable Heath MacDonald, Minister of Economic Development and Tourism. We have Miss Anne McDougall-Cooper, Don McDougall's daughter and business partner, and much better looking, of course. See, she agrees. And then we have Dan Glenn over here in the far left from Glen Group in Fredericton. I also would like to recognize the following people in attendance today. Is Bobby Morrissey here? He's not here again. We have MOA for O'Larry Inverness and Minister of Health, Mr. Robert Henderson. We have MLA for Tyne Valley Linklater and Minister of Transportation, Infrastructure and Energy, Paula Bigger. Is Pat Murphy here? No, Pat Murphy, he's tied up. We also have the Honourable Rich Brown, Minister of Workforce and Advanced Learning. We have Tina Munday, Minister of Family and Human Services. And MLA Chris Palmer, Summerside, and Jamie Fox, leader of the Conservative Party, and MLA for Borden Kincora. After the program concludes, we'll have a short photo opportunity, and there will be a general media availability for the official party. With that, I'll introduce the Honourable Heath MacDonald, Minister of Economic Development and Tourism on behalf of the province. He's going to speak.
Thanks, everyone. Thank you, David. Morning. And what a turnout. It just shows the compassion for the community of West Prince, O'Larry, Tignish, Alberton, and all the communities in between. I'd like to recognize a few guests, and I won't go through my cabinet and MLA colleagues, but I want to recognize them and thank them for coming out and being supportive of this announcement. Anne McDougall, of course, Anne McDougall-Cooper. We certainly appreciate you being here today, and it's a great day. Dan Glenn also here, and you'll hear from them shortly. Also, if there's mayors here today or community leaders, and I think there's many community leaders in West Prince, the staff, of course, some of the most important people in the tourism industry, and ladies and gentlemen. I want to thank everyone for joining us here today, this important and very exciting announcement in North Cape Coastal Drive. Today represents the beginning of a new chapter in the history of Mill River Resort. This part of the story will be about growth. It will be about revitalization and rejuvenation. It's about the protection of jobs and the creation of new ones. It's about a vision. It's about giving this region the marquee tourism product it needs to attract greater visitation to this part of the island. But more than anything else, it's about creating the conditions to drive economic growth in West Prince and to see this region flourish. And it all starts with Don McDougall and his family. Don is an islander through and through. He loves his area. He has a summer home here. He's been a member at Mill River Golf Course for a decade. He is passionate about this property, the region and its people, and the communities. And he sees tremendous potential for growth and success right here in Mill River. It is a great pleasure to have his daughter, Anne McDougall-Cooper, here with us today. I know she and her father share a deep commitment to this facility. Don is a deeply respected businessman. He was one of the founders of the Toronto Blue Jays. He was president and CEO of Labatt's Breweries. He knows how to succeed in business. Don was the first person to show interest when the province issued an RFP for the sale of the golf course, and he was a successful applicant. And today I am pleased to announce that Don McDougall will purchase, revitalize, and restore this facility in partnership with the province for the benefit of all West Prince and all of PEI. The agreement we've signed with Don will see him assume control of the entire property. The province will do its part by partnering with him on major capital improvement project that will see the resort facility and much of the grounds revitalized. Not only will this project upgrade and modernize the resort, it will result in over 100 construction jobs over the course of the project, and that alone will have a $7 million impact on the local economy over the course of 30 months. It will also preserve existing jobs, and given the potential for growth and the vision, with this fully revitalized tourism attraction, it could help create new jobs. Anne will speak in a few moments about the scope of the project and about the changes you'll see over the coming months and years. But it's safe to say the facility will be far more attractive to potential visitors than it is today, and that has potential to benefit the entire region. The greater the number of people coming here will benefit businesses and communities all over West Prince. And growing up and spending 20-some years in the tourism industry myself, I can't imagine Mill River not being here in the form it is today, or even better, with the surrounding businesses and what it contributes to the economy. You know, I was driving up here and I was thinking of the Philadelphia Flyers when they came to visit. I was thinking of all the provincial minor hockey tournaments that are held in Tignish or Alberton where the teams stay, things like that. So we have to keep in mind that what it doesn't just do to this facility, but what it does to the communities in the surrounding areas. Visitors will want to see the area. They will shop, they will eat, and they will tell their friends about how beautiful this area is and what a wonderful time they had here. That creates the conditions for growth, not only at the resort, in the tourism industry, but for the entire region. As many of you know, Don managed this facility in the summer of 2016, and if the numbers he produced are any indication, there are good times ahead at Mill River. In fact, as I was going over my speech in the back room, there was actually interior designers already working around, and they were fluttering around saying, I'm not sure how we're going to do this. There's an awful lot of people out there. So we're starting to see the progress already. The number of sites sold at the campground grew by 20%. That's a tremendous result over the season. Over 5,500 room nights were sold, over 15,000 rounds of golf played, over 2,500 campsites sold. That's a very telling result and a positive sign for the future. But Don cannot succeed alone. The staff here at Mill River is second to none. The service they provide customers and the hard work they put in greatly improves the experience for guests. Longtime manager Louise Arsenault, who I've gotten to know over the years, Blair Duggan, who looks after the golf courses, and I must say it's likely one of the best golf courses on Prince Edward Island. The staff of this facility is the greatest asset, and they will play a big part in the success. It always comes down to our people, our work ethic, and our dedication, and that's what makes us successful on Prince Edward Island. As Minister of Tourism, it is my responsibility and the responsibility of my staff to show our island to the world. We just recently seen, and most of you have seen on CNN, the best place to visit in North America by CNN ratings in 2017 is number one is Prince Edward Island, and we look forward to that. We will look for greater opportunities to highlight everything this region has to offer and to ensure Mill River is a top-mind destination to potential visitors. I cannot tell you how excited I am to see this project underway and to see the end result. As Economic Development Minister and also Tourism Minister, I was pretty gleeful when this deal was done. I'm fully confident Mill River will once again be the island's marquee tourism attraction, and it is located right here in West Prince. And I just wanted to take a moment to thank again everybody for coming out, and I am sincere when we say what we expect from this group is phenomenal. What we've seen, what you're going to hear. It is an exciting day for West Prince and the surrounding businesses and the communities and the staff, and the vision that these people have and the knowledge and the network that they bring to the table will only help our province as a whole, but certainly help West Prince. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. McDonald, for your nice words about West Prince and how things are going to work. Now, folks, I now invite Ann McDougall-Cooper to say a few words about the plans of this facility. Ann brings 15 years of corporate experience to her role as president of Rambry. Her experience includes 6 years with McKinsey & Company, where she worked with Fortune 500 companies, primarily focused on transactions and finance function strategy. Prior to McKinsey, Ann worked for the oilfield services firm Schlumberger, where she worked in engineering positions on land and offshore oil rigs and in sales and product development. Ann graduated from the Wharton School at the University of Pennsylvania with an MBA in finance and has an electrical engineering degree from Queen's University. She lives in Waterloo, Ontario with her husband and 3 children. Ann, we welcome you to West Prince.
Thank you for that introduction, David. Honorable Heath MacDonald, other ministers and MLAs, distinguished guests, family, friends, and employees. Good morning and welcome. I'm quite taken with the turnout here today, and it really indicates and speaks to the potential and the belief the community has in this property going forward. Thank you for that. Although this story appears to be Prince Edward Island, and in this part of the island in particular, there are many people in this room today who know much better than I how long the Callahans, which is my paternal grandmother's side, have been tilling the soil in Miminigash, but for sure, it's in the hundreds of years. It's too bad my dad can't be here today. Unfortunately, he had a bad case of food poisoning. Yes, and it is worth mentioning, not from here. Let's be clear. He would certainly regale you with the story my brothers and sister and I have heard so many times we can probably recount by heart how he brought electricity to Bloomfield. When we were old enough to actually press him on this, we learned that he may or may not have chopped down a tree or two for the electrical poles. So Mill River Resort is at the nexus of many things our company and our family know a great deal about. West Prince PEI, golf, tourism, and real estate. We've been in the golf industry off and on for years, and at one time owned the only Canadian golf club manufacturer, Accuform Golf. We also owned Woodley Replicas here on PEI, where I personally worked several summers as a young adult. It was built to suit, and with an E, red hair, and braids to boot. We currently operate a real estate development and management company in Ontario that is focused primarily on commercial and retail assets. If my dad were here, he would tell you about his passion for Mill River, its innate beauty, the dedication and hardworking nature of the people who work here, and the potential he sees in its future. I can personally attest that the road to get here was a bit windy, with many points at which one could have hopped off, but he persevered. And in the years to come, we'll all be glad he did. If there's one thing Don McDougall understands well, it's potential. Be it in beer or in the Blue Jays, he knows potential. We want to thank the province for their confidence in our firm. The high-level vision for Mill River going forward is not really that different than what I think would have been in place back in the early 80s when it all came together at its inception. We are excited by the challenge to establish Mill River Resort as the center of recreation and tourism for the region. We want this to spur entrepreneurship for people in the area, and we intend to offer opportunities for that to happen. We want residents looking to be active to think of Mill River as the place to go, be it bringing the family to try their hands on a ropes course perhaps, or in the pool, or on the golf course. The important thing here is that these assets need upgrades. They need to be modernized, and that is what we intend to do. Our capital projects intend to update the entire hotel, including rooms and meeting space, expansion of the aquaplex, infrastructure upgrades, including electrical and improvements to the campground, and ensuring that accessibility meets today's requirements. We aim to run this as a year-round resort, and we have the benefit of now operating it as one entity, which is important. As it relates to workforce, we're pleased to announce that we have continuity with long-term staff in Louise Arsenault as general manager, and that all current employees in good standing with the province and with RODS, will be offered positions or will have the opportunity to apply for open positions. It's anticipated that the workforce will increase with growth and visitation to the property. We've begun the process of developing capital, marketing, and modernization plans. And together with the dedicated staff and employees of Mill River, we look forward to the resort being a magnet for economic development going forward. I'd like to call on Dan Glenn of the Glenn Group to give an overview of the short-term projects we will be working on in the coming months. Thank you.
Good morning. Delighted to be here, and I can tell you staff are just beaming this morning, the smiles on their faces. They're just gyrating. They're so excited about the potential here. And we're not strangers to Mill River. We started working here, I think 1998 or 99, on visions for the facility. And at the time, it was a goal to try and integrate the various operated components, being the aquaplex, the hotel, the fun park, the campground, and also opportunities for land development, to see if they could be better integrated as a wholly experienced resort. And while we were successful, I think, in developing packages, it was difficult because of that management structure to truly operate as one resort. Well, all things change today. Under one ownership, we're able to look at this as an experience where we can maximize job creation and maximize the amount of dollars spent in West Prince at this facility. To do so, we've been working over the last 6 months trying to develop some priorities and a way forward. I should probably back up a little bit and let you know that I'm a project manager for this and the lead designer. Excuse me. We have an incredible design team fully assembled, and as was talked about earlier, we're actually starting today. We're meeting with the engineers and the architects this afternoon. You may have already seen the interior designers around with their measuring tapes. We're starting so that construction will start in the spring. Because the design team has been assembled from people with experience here, we're able to fast track this project. We're going to use the analysis and the investments that were made in the past in planning to move forward. That being said, we're also looking at new opportunities because things change over 20 years, in terms of what the tourism industry is composed of and what our visitors want. We've been studying things like TripAdvisor to see, what the customer says about the place. We're going to see their suggestions answered with flat screen TVs and the types of things that they really want to see here. So we don't have a finished plan right now. What we have is a wish list, and we have some preliminary cost estimates for that wish list, and now we're doing our due diligence in terms of doing a detailed design for those elements. And the elements are holistic. Explain to them the opportunities that are here that you might not know otherwise. An opportunity to perhaps go on a trail ride, or that there's forming here tonight, or there's a special for lunch. But really make that trip memorable and make it get the interaction going between the fantastic staff that are here and the customers. In terms of, I don't have any fancy drawings to show you. We have some images here because we're only